Hello, I'm Christine Gelineau. I'm going to read 5 poems for you from my collection Remorseless Loyalty, which was published in 2006 by Ashland Poetry Press as the winner of the Richard Snyder Prize. Ashland will be bringing out my second book in 2010, Appetite for the Divine. So I'm going to read just 5 poems for you. This is called Putting the Filly Down. Dead. Small click of a word to last so long. It's the improbably soft and lively look of her mane I won't forget. The body being small, they lashed her by the pasterns to a chain across the empty arms of a bucket loader and lifted her inverted in the air. The arms held her out before the tractor like an offering, and she rode that way to the grave in stiff dignity, save for the mocking animation of her mane, silken and playful in the face of February. No ceremony or Astros turf disguises here. This grave is raw-lipped and greedy as any hole you ever fill with something you've spent love on. The loss of a parent before you're old enough to have left home yourself is the kind of thing that one visits and revisits over and over in their poems. This poem is called Endow. What's it like there, Mother? Have you been there long enough to be happy? Have your bones cleaned off to silver now, holy and exact? You did so love to dress in pure lines and simple elegance. That insistent black elegance was your signature here, Mother, but it was Dad and I who chose the dress that you wore last, and we had had enough of black. We put you in the teal, an exact gesture. By now, soil black and moist, your bones wear only what becomes the bone. Even the outerwear of mahogany elegance we gave has softened into exactly the embrace we had intended. Mother, that last evening we talked, I remember well enough the look of you in white, the white dress, the hospital issues, the room dressed white, white ceiling, white walls, bone-white bedclothes, your face floating in whiteness enough to release you, your hand in white air elegantly waving goodbye, goodbye. So like you, Mother, to be, even at that moment, exact. But it was more than I could imagine you would exact of me the black sophistication of a funeral dress while you wore blue and wouldn't leave your box, Mother. Sucked down grief to a model's high cheekbone look, I came into a sudden adolescent elegance, but paid for it. Can we ever pay enough? Even decades have not been time enough to compensate the cost. The exacting interweave of you and me, that elegant embroidery of dreams, demands, losses, and redress, continues to work its intricate details, the bone needles pulling bright Venus threads, Mother. I wear our cruel work close to the skin and dress to camouflage the truth. We each are silver at the bone, and what you must endow, I must inherit, Mother. This is an ekphrastic poem, and it's based on Vermeer's Lady Writing a Letter, and it's written in Vermeer's voice. It's called How the Painter Hungers. My mother-in-law, Maria, is a discreet and practical woman. In the interests of art and income, she grants me a necessary latitude we contrive to shield from her daughter. Maria understands, as Katerina never would, how the painter hungers for the shape his brush pursues, the porcelain curve of a bowl, the pearlescent folds of the oyster on its shell, or a woman draped in fur and silk, the wanton necklace dropped by her hand. Maria indulges me, but indulgences has its limits. There are always limits. And so, much as one misdirects the eye until flat appears flesh, substantial and warm, one distracts one's own heart with luster, sheen. I am an acolyte now to the plushness of light, consecrated to the sacrament of shadows. I subsist on the rituals of shapes, proportion, dimension. Pure hue is my sustaining Eucharist, and I crave radiance like air. This is a summer poem. It's called Picking Peaches. Even before we're close enough to reach to them, we smell the sweet offertory of their ripening. Birds lift with loud reluctance, leaving behind open suns of soft-fleshed fruit. He steadies the ladder while I rise among the leaves, handing down the warm skin globes. Peach by peach, they drop from my fingers to the cradle of his outstretched hands, and for that moment, we too are as filled to the skin as fruit. And this last poem is called Slieve League. League is the Irish word for mountain, and Slieve League is up in County Donegal in the north-west corner of Ireland. Mostly people go to the Cliffs of Moher, which is easier to get to, but they're only about half as high. Slieve League is actually, it's a 2,000-foot straight drop from where you are to the Atlantic. And because it's Ireland, not the U.S., you can, I mean, there's sort of like a little fence up there, but if you want to go right over to the edge, hey, it's your skin. So this is called Slieve League, County Donegal, Ireland. Cliffs draw us, as margins must. That limitless curiosity limits excite. It's exactly the 600 meters of granite verticality that insinuates, closer, let me show you. Our thirst for clarity runs that deep. The glittering little lake at Bunglass Point observes unblinking as tourists and family groups head off along the ridge. There at Amhock Moor, the good view, a sketchy fence suggests, but well beyond, the man and boy stroll, and a girl sits leaned against a stone, turning the pages to her book, rehearsing nonchalance. This high up, the breathing of the sea is barely audible. Watchers cross and recross the glass distance to the waves, imagining the release. Almost welcome in the manageable summer air. Daydreams, less than vapor. Assume instead the composure of the heather. After the cliff walkers return to their domestic suppers, after the noisome cars reload and wend back, sunset stains the stones mortal red and shadowed ambergris. In the mobile dark of borderland, the sea repeats without complaint the siren song of its remorseless loyalty. Thanks very much.